If you haven't watched my intro video for this amazing vacation, here is where we ended with cheers to a great time. The very next morning, we started the day very early on our way to our first touristy tour. So we actually walked this route last night and it looks a whole lot different. See, look, this looked orange last night, didn't it? And it's just a beige. Oh no, it's that one. Okay, there's an actual orange one.
I was gonna say, yeah, it did.
Yeah, I was like, why is it beige? But it's that. There was no one on the streets but us. Granted, it was around 8 a.m.
It's Sunday, people are sleeping.
Look at all these bikes. This is definitely a cycle town. So we came upon this super cute square, you guys. Check out this beautiful church and as well as the houses surrounding it. I'm really liking the architecture here. We slowly made it to the train station where our tour guide and bus will take us to our destination. So we just boarded the bus and we're ready to get going. Ready to go. So where are we going, you ask? I am sure you are aware of Germany's dark history during World War II and the Nazi Party. Munich happens to be the city where the Nazi Party was founded, and we are traveling about 10 miles outside the city's borders to a small town called Dachau. This is the site of Nazi Germany's first concentration camp. For the next several minutes of this video, it is going to be heavy and unpleasant, but this part of history did happen and it's best not to ignore it or forget it. On the lighter note, our tour guide is fantastic, very knowledgeable and passionate. She gave us a history lesson of the events that led to the creation of the Nazi Party, as well as lessons on terminology that she will be using a lot throughout the day.
And it was the only concentration camp which was in operation from 1933 till the end of the Second World War, till the liberation shortly before the Second World War ended in 1945. It was the central concentration camp for all priests. It was the training camp and the drill camp for the SS guards. So, by the way, to explain some terms, SS, SR and Gestapo, because I will use those terms very often during our tour. SS, this once was the Schutzstaffel, Protective Squadron. The SS was founded in 1925 as a subdivision to SA Sturmabteilung, stormtroops, kind of bodyguards of Adolf Hitler.
Finally, we entered the quiet city of Dachau. Alright, so we're about to enter the Dachau concentration camp, and I'm not going to talk too much in there. I'm just going to pay my respects and absorb everything that has happened there. So I'll see you when I'm out.
All extermination camps were situated in former Poland, Generalgouvernement and Wartik.
Will set you free. In English. Which is a bullshit slogan, because if you enter this gate, you're done.
This panel gives you an overview of the concentration camp system during the Second World War. A small traveling bag. The prisoners were standing along the windows. Rauchen verboten, smoking forbidden. How could you dare to smoke windows?
Back in Munich, Neb and Shayla were not feeling well, so it will just be Karen and I doing some exploring. Hey guys, so one of the plans was to show you the King's Square, but as I'll show you right now in the footage, there was actually a concert going on, so we can't even go see it. So long story short, it is called the King's Square, and it was made by King Ludwig I. He wanted to kind of have a little part of ancient Greece here in Bavaria, so he created a square that was inspired by the Acropolis from Greece. I wish I could show it to you, I wish I could have explored it, but things happen and we're just gonna have to make do with it, I guess. But we did manage to see a lot of amazing architecture, parks, and artwork on our way to Marienplatz. We also came by this very fancy cafe that we just couldn't say no to. I mean, look at the incredible assortment of cakes that they have. They look like yummy jewels behind the glass. They are my type of jewels. Although I would have loved to go ham and order them all, my hunt was on a certain honey cake. Bienenstich, I hope I pronounced that right, but it's also known as bee sting cake. It is a honey and almond 4-layered cake, so the base is made out of this sweet yeast cake topped with vanilla cream and then another thin layer of cake before it is topped with a crunchy honey-flavored caramelized almond topping. Now, doesn't that just sound delicious? Hey guys, really excited right now because one of my to-do list or to-eat list is to have a bee sting cake, and we're here now in a little cafe and we ordered one, so yay! And I totally forgot about it until Karen reminded me. She's like, didn't you want to eat that cake? I was like, yeah, I do. So we ordered it, so I cannot wait to try it because it just looks so amazing online. Okay, so here is the first bite of honey goodness. The flavors are so subtle, but it's very light. The cream is very, very light and airy, but then the cake part is a little bit dense, and there's a little bit of sweetness to it, so it's not overly sweet, and the tastes are very subtle, but it's actually really good. I actually really like this. So how is it?
It's good.
Yeah?
It's good, yeah. I like it. It's not too sweet.
Yeah, that's what I like about it too. Sometimes cakes are too heavy and sweet, but this one's light and subtle. Alright, now we are off to Marienplatz. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Forgive me if I totally butcher it, but it's translated to St. Mary's Square. So we're gonna go with that. So our goal is to see the Glockenspiel, the Old Town Hall, as well as Hofbrauhaus, and yeah, just sightsee. As we got closer to the town square, the architecture gets visibly fancier and intricate. It was just a delight. Then we came across this, the famous memorial of the one and only Michael Jackson. Now, why this particular statue, you ask? Well, it just happens to be the statue that stands right in front of this hotel. This is where Michael always stayed whenever he was in Munich, so it makes sense, right? We finally made it, you guys. We finally made it to Marienplatz, also known as Mary's Square, the central square of Munich since 1158. In the Middle Ages, this is the place for markets and tournaments, and today not much has changed. It is still the spot for locals and tourists to gather, with plenty of restaurants and shops to busy ourselves with. Events are also held here from time to time. I heard that this is the place to be during Christmas time. This whole center is transformed into this beautiful, wonderful Santa workshop wonderland. Easily the most impressive and dominating building is the square's new and old town hall and Glockenspiel Tower. Every day at 11 a.m. and 12 p.m., the top half of the Glockenspiel will come alive with 48 bells and 32 life-size figures to tell the story of the marriage of the local Duke Wilhelm V to Renata of Lorraine. Sadly, I wasn't able to see the story, but the Glockenspiel itself and the building surrounding it is already a sight to behold. This marketplace is just full of life and energy. Alright, since it is my first time here, I'm gonna do the most touristy thing and get a beer at Hofbrauhaus and possibly dinner too. I really want to try their pork knuckle dish that is very popular here in Bavaria. So yeah, that is the goal. And Karen's gonna get some food too, so we'll see what she's gonna order. The famous Hofbrauhaus. I hope I pronounced that right. Hofbrauhaus? Hofbrauhaus. This is the Royal Beer Hall, founded by Duke Wilhelm V in September 27th, 1589, and boy was it popular as ever.
Wow,
So we're seated now, and oh my god, it's a little bit overwhelming here. It's so big, so loud, so hot in here. But yeah, you can just sit down anywhere you want as long as it's not a reserved table. And they have menus for you right away. So let's get ordering, you guys. I'm so excited to try out the beer as well as that pork shank dish. So apparently I was reading the German menu this whole time, and I was like, dang, Karen knows her German, because she kept on saying, oh, so this is the roasted chicken, and I'm like, I don't see no roasted chicken. So it turns out that they do have an English menu, which is great, and then on the back they actually have the history of the place, which is awesome. Look at the size of this, you guys. I know a lot of people say the same thing, but the minute you actually hold this in your hand, it is, oh, okay, it's really heavy. I can't even lift it up. Oh my god, it's so heavy. Wow, so apparently you pay a deposit for this mug, and if you don't return the mug, you don't get the deposit back, but you get to keep this ginormous mug as a souvenir. Okay, to be honest, Karen and I are sharing because we just can't finish a liter all for ourselves. We're two tiny little Asian women, so yeah, that's just too much. Okay, cheers! So here it is, you guys.
it smells so good.
This is, oh, okay, the plate is hot. The waiter did warn me, wasn't expecting it, but this is the crispy pork knuckle. And why doesn't it focus? You can see the deliciousness. There you go. Look how beautiful that is. It's super juicy on the inside, which I really like. They didn't over flavor the meat, which is great. The pork is really good. As the sun sets, we decided to call it a day. As we headed back to our Airbnb, we enjoyed a few sights that were visually stunning during golden hour. So please enjoy the rest of the video and happy wandering, everyone. And always to remember to wander with awe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.